Contract transformation was a bottleneck for us, hugely. Legal team got involved. I had 2 people in legal. We had over 300 salespeople. How do you do it? How do you get contracts out faster? I didn't know what was in half the contracts. We had a little special box called special conditions. Yeah, salespeople got really creative in that box and promised the world. And then we didn't deliver, and then finance were really upset because now the client won't pay. So finance are down here, really frustrated with the salespeople because their collections and forecasts and cash flow has issues because we put something in the contract that we didn't deliver that wasn't standard and nobody knew it was there because they just wanted to get contracts out faster. Contracts was a huge problem for our business, especially with GDPR then, when we knew we had to clean up the whole lot because we did not know where we were with our contract framework. So that was a big driver for our project. Data and reporting, that was fun. Finance had 1 numbers. I ignored the CRM, don't trust it. I own the Holy Grail. They haven't got a clue. Literally, they haven't got a clue. But to be fair, when I looked at their forecasting, that was quite off as well. So getting the business to understand what are the clear KPIs. Based on this product and who we want to be today, based on the sales cycle, what are we reporting on today? Forget the noise. So looking at this is an internal piece. This is your accountability, not your CRMs or a technology provider. The second step, simplify your process. This is fundamentally the most important step if you want to be successful at digital transformation. So all I did, look at the steps that have to happen. Forget the noise. Forget Johnny has to talk to Jack and Jack has to Johnny and it goes around here and it goes all over. Forget all the noise. What do I need to do as a business to be compliant? Lead management, leads get handover. Proposal, my quote. Contract, my standard, red line. Approval process, signature. SOW for delivery. Project plan, deliver to client. Invoicing, revenue recognition, forecast, and collections. Okay, that's what needs to happen. I blocked out all the noise. The next thing you do is the people involved in that process. Underneath, so very simply when you go away on a white piece of paper, iron your steps. Underneath it, people, marketing, BDRs to account executives, to solution engineers, to legal. Highlight the people that need to follow in the sale cycle. Next step, meet with them all individually because you have an idea of what you think is happening. Then you meet them and you're going to find out loads of stuff that you had no idea is happening. Meet them individually first because the big thing you've got to do is break your silos when you're improving your sales process. When you meet with them individually, I found, for example, TMs were massively upset with BDRs. They don't put the information in, didn't get it, got to start all over again. TMs were really frustrated. Then I went to customer success, and they were really frustrated with the BDRs, with the TMs. Finance were frustrated with a whole lot of them because they think they don't put anything in the system. Now they can't collect the revenue. My numbers are all over the place, and everybody was frustrated with each other. So then the next step of what we did was I looked at what technology was underneath it. So you've looked at the process, you've looked at the people, now look at technology. I found that most of the salespeople were putting stuff in WhatsApp. Not Salesforce, it was WhatsApp. They had multiple different ways of communicating with clients, which means my data's everywhere. I have no clue what's going on, and I could never gather it to gain an understanding. So when I want to understand what's happening in the customer journey based on all the technology and everyone having their own way of doing it, we couldn't do it. So what we need to do then is strip back and go, okay, well, they're using all these systems, and you can see where your technology, your people, and your process are getting misaligned. Your job then is to simplify it and align all of them. You create a user group. We had a meeting that would come together, and I had a representation from each team. I already met them individually, so I knew the little battles that were going to come out, because you know they're going to have conflict. They're going to have the kind of blame culture, because the people will blame the system. The people that build the system will blame the people that are using it. You put them in a room together, they're going to blame the process. So the idea of it is you've got to break the silos in the business for the customer journey to work faster. So we got a representation from each team. Our finance team were more crucial to the build of my Salesforce CPQ than the sales team. They talked about the data that was valid to them, that they needed in to do it. Legal talked a lot about the stuff they wanted in before it hits them, so they don't have to bottleneck or cross-check all of that. So the key piece on this simplification is all about highlight the process, pull in the people, and then look at the technology. But only look at what has to happen. Then you do the next bit, which is the nice, exciting part. You select the technology. Now, this is the part where most organizations will fail. Because you have an idea of what you want to happen, and then you see a demo. And it's very, very easy to get very excited by features and functionality. So I'm going to use this based on what Conga does, but the theory could be applied to any technology you're looking at. So Conga will build a digital transformation program that will improve your documents, your contracts, your electronic signature, and your process automation around those processes. Overall, everything is about giving you greater insight and intelligence in what's happening in the sales cycle. So when you meet a vendor around technology, we call it the maturity curve. So the maturity curve is I would look at our document management system, from standard templates to full online collaborative templates with clients. In phase one, I am not ready for online collaborative templates with clients. I don't have standard templates in place yet. So the idea of what it is you outline the features and functionality by maturity. You should get your vendor to work with you. So for example, around contracts, do I have a central repository for all my contracts? No, they're on shared drives, they're in drawers, and they sit with legal. Okay, the first step is we've got to get you a central repository. We're going to put your contracts in and build a process to get your contracts into one place. Do you have standard clauses, SSAs, terms and conditions, MSAs? No? Okay, we've got to get you some of them in place. And then what we want to do is at renewals, get people to your standard. Do you have a redlining process? So the idea of what you do is build the features and functionality, know where your business is. Don't map your business to the technology. Map the technology to your business. Outline your process, know where you are, and be realistic. Why? Because when you go out with this for people to adopt, too many new features and functionality, they won't adopt. You're going to overwhelm your users. They're going to get frustrated. You won't get it right first time. Fail fast, pivot, change. So don't build too much. So the idea of it is we work with each one, and we can tell you how sophisticated you are, and then plot you, our solution engineers, and I'm working with Salesforce and many organizations to how to do that whiteboarding process, look at technology and map a roadmap. The idea of it is you focus on speed to value to gain momentum. The idea of it is I look at all the processes, and everywhere I could have fit Conga, I didn't implement everything in phase one. We weren't ready, didn't have time. It would take forever. I'd have people going, is it going live yet? Is it going live yet? Is it going live yet? And it wouldn't go live. So the idea of what we're doing is implementing phases. Even if you're only looking at one part of the sales cycle, don't do it in a vacuum. Even if you're looking at your contract lifecycle management and you're going from standard to redlined approvals to signature process, whatever happens here will impact here. Whatever happens here impacts down here. You don't want to build something so well with the legal team and the sales team to find out finance are going to tell you when you go live, oh, by the way, you didn't think of this. You got that wrong. I can't get my data out now. I can't get an invoice out because that isn't on the contract. It was called this field in my system. You've now called it something else, and now you've caused me a major headache, and they'll tell everybody your project has failed. So it's very important, no matter what part of the sales cycle you're looking at, you stay focused end to end, and you know what if data is coming here and going here, and never separate the process, the people, and the technology, and keep it simple. And iterate. Learn to iterate over time. You will learn with everything, and you'll think, I've built out phase two. You won't. You'll go live, and you'll rewrite phase two, because you'll have learned what worked and what didn't in phase one. So from my experience is look end to end, speed to value. So I know I was able to say, by implementing this, I could tell my senior exec team, I will know every contract that holds risk, revenue opportunity, know exactly where we are in the sales cycle of every contract, how many are out for signature, how many have been signed, how many are with legal, how many are with the business side. So that by implementing this business, this is what I'll be able to give you on an intelligence standpoint. Set expectations, keep it real, get it live, get it out, but make your reporting simple to start with and then get more complex over time. It's so important that you do it, because what happens is when they see it working here, finance go, oh, that's quite nice, can I have that? Can I have something similar? I need signatures, or I need a better template for my invoicing, or I want better reporting. And then you transfer the technology to a different department, particularly finance. When I was changing our finance system, my finance guy actually walked in the room going, this is a waste of time, this is a waste of time. I'm not changing, I'm not leaving GP, I'm not leaving GP. I was like, get in the room. And then by the end of it, 6 months later, he was so excited about CPQ reporting. This was like a massive, massive, massive transformation from, he was walking and telling me I was wasting his time to show him a demo of a financial systems, because he refused to go on Salesforce and work on platform. He wasn't touching anything sales touched. That for me was my hardest cultural transformation. I learned more about finance changing my sales cycle than I did on anything. And it's a different mindset. It's an analytical mindset versus a creative mindset. It's just a different sales approach.